Okay, hello, I'm Tokyo Rico. Recently, I've just hit 8,000 streams on Peak. I'm very grateful for that. Let me just say before the video starts, thank you guys for streaming the song. It's one of my favorite songs I made recently. Different, I would say. Just sucking my own dick. I'll put that out there. Sorry for the background being kind of messy, but that's no, just don't pay attention. We'll just get through it like we used to it, you know? Anyways, I just wanted to make a how I made the song just because I got 1,000 streams. So let's get into the video. All right, so as you can see, this is the arrangement on how it looks. Nothing is very beautiful. It's honestly just made so the song is made. There's also quite a bit of automation. I won't go through everything like that. So let's just start off with the bass. I did get it from this retro wave, synth wave, and 80s retro pack. I don't know where I got this from, honestly, so sorry about that. You can't really see. I know my face cam is blocking it. I'll just put it up a bit. It was this one. It was D sharp. It's very, very high end. It's so nasty. That's literally why it's called nasty, I guess. Here is the notes placed in. I had some sort of rhythm I thought of already going into it. I was starting at 90 BPM up here, and this is how the bass was laid out. And I also had these slides going in just to make it go up a bit, just kind of giving that more confident type of sound that, you know, you'd be like a walking like boss, kind of like boss music. So this is how the bass was laid down. And it just loops from there. And yeah, that was how like the bass was kind of put in like that. Next is just these kicks. I found these kicks off a Splice. I just used these kicks because I liked the sound it kind of brought into it. It was kind of like more bassy ones. This was the kick pattern, how it went. And yeah, there's a just a little bit of a climb right when it gets into the verse up there, just to kind of like basically just give up the momentum of getting into the verse. Next, I have the snares here going off of every like 4 step, maybe. I don't know. I should know this, but I don't know. I don't know this shit. So this is how that sounds. I realize I say snare, but it's more like a clap, so my bad. Next, we have these hats, and I kind of wanted a hat that is like really sharp, because by the time it hits down to that beat, it's just gonna have that bass and it's gonna be muffled. And I kind of just wanted to have something in the high end frequencies just to make it all clear out. Basically just put all the hats in like this, but at the bottom, as you can see, I put the velocity down so it hits just a little lighter on the second hat right there. And this is how that sounds. I also just wanted to say I put reverb on this, and yeah. That shit goes hard. I don't give no fucks. That was pretty much all the drums. It's literally not that much. This song was kind of easy to make, I'm not gonna lie. It's just kind of the way I've structured it, I would say. So one thing I want to mention is when the song gets to the bass drop, where everything just kind of gets louder and the hats are incorporated as long as with the claps, I use the same bass line that I had before in the beginning, but basically my friend had this idea. He took it, I exported it out into a WAV file and just put it on the track, and he decided to reverse it. So it's just the same bass, but it's being reversed, and this is how that sounds. So I thought that's pretty cool. Next thing I want to go over is just the sound effects. I'd say the main kind of like sound that you're going to hear is just the siren I had. Also my friend's idea. I still put a lot of stuff in this beat, don't worry. But yeah, he had the siren idea. I also had gross beat on one of these things, but I'm not sure what it was. But I don't have gross beat, so I was using the trial thing. So this is the siren that goes off every couple of bars in the beginning. Yeah, and it's pretty nice. I like that one. One thing I also almost forgot to mention is I wanted to add some sort of like a warm feeling in the beginning of the song just before it gets into the second part. And it's basically with the bass still muffled with the high end, like passed with the low pass, and then it gets into the higher sound of the bass. So this is just really just some vinyl raw noise I have. I got it from Cymatics, and this is how that sounds. That's the shit right there. Swear to God. I had this riser, and I also had another riser. It's the same riser, but it's just the second one is stretched out longer just to it's just the same one. I made it unique, and I just wanted to have it more stretched out to give space for the sectioning. I like to have my music structured, so it's just more organized, easier for me that way. And yeah, so this is how the riser sounds. Yeah. Oh yeah, I added these highs. You can hear them. They're playing, so we might as well just let them go. I'm sure a lot of people has heard that little like high. It's from like, I'd say a lot of R&B rap ish like songs. You guys know that one though. I don't know if that's even something that you guys can catch on to hearing it. I just wanted to add it. I felt like it just fit, you know. I don't know why I did it, but I just did, and it worked. I feel like you guys will be able to hear it now when you realize that this is in there. Another thing is kind of like it's another siren kind of. This little thing right here, it's more of like a siren, but also like a vocoder at the same time. I was literally just looking through Splice and trying to find some sort of FX that sounds like dark and grimy or evil or anything that's kind of like fitting that that aesthetic or that sound. And this is what I got. Yeah, that shit sounds scary, man. It makes me want to shit my pants, I swear to God. Next thing was just it's another siren. Just can't get too many sirens in this song. I think I had this in a pack somewhere. Don't know where. It's long gone somewhere. I'm pretty sure this was panned. This might have been the one with the gross beat on it. But this is how this sounds, and it's pretty harsh. So yeah. Yeah, the attack on it goes so crazy, but that's what it fucking is. Down here, you'll see all my automations. Really, it's just some EQ automations, some parts where I just had the delay on the vocals to end right there, and I'll get to vocals in just a second. I had gross beat here. I think it was also for vocals. Also, same thing with panning. These are just basically the same thing right over here from the beginning, and then I think I had another EQ just to muffle out the bass sounds. Speaking of bass sounds, I might as well just go over this mix, because it does play a huge part into the mix of the bass, since the bass takes up most of the song and is the main part of the song. So let's just go through that. As you can see on this chain, I don't really have things kind of set up right. The EQ should really be on top and the distortion at the bottom, but we're just not going to talk about that. So let's just start off with the EQ. Just a low pass filter, brought it down to, how many hertz is this? 564, I think, 564 hertz. And then I just simply boosted that bass, that 126, about 3 decibels, I would say. I added some distortion just to give the bass a little bit more of a raspier, heavier type of sound, if it's not heavy enough already. Just wanted to add that in. I also had a limiter in here. I think I set this up where I thought I was sidechaining, but obviously the sidechain is not set up. And this was at a time where I thought I was sidechaining, but I really, in fact, indeed wasn't. So this limiter is literally just serving no purpose at this point. I actually almost forgot one more kind of sound effect, or I guess it's the sound effect and then vocal, but it's kind of like a sound effect, but it's also a vocal because it's me. And I'll show you this one right now. So that's just me kind of like breathing into the mic, going and just having a bunch of effects on it and stuff like that, making it delay. But it really fits in with the beat, and it kind of gives it a more of a just It just sounds dark. It sounds grimy. It sounds nice, nasty. Okay, so let's get into the vocals since I've pretty much covered everything else, and then I'll have a few more words to say at the end of this video. Let's just look at the vocal chain real quick. My vocal chains are always a mess. I really don't need this many plugins looking back on this song. But we'll just go through this really quickly. I won't go through every single super detail. I don't have pitch correction. Gives me too much latency. A shitty, just regular vocal EQ right there, getting rid of some lows. De-esser at 12 dB, noise gate, shithole, everything's shit, honestly. Fresh air to get that crispy high ends, you know. Really just shit right there. I got a compressor, compressed as fuck, I'm not gonna lie, that's shit right there. A preamp, that's vocal stereo, a vocal preamp, and I remember seeing Lil Uzi and Pharrell Williams engineer was talking about this plugin, and I felt inspired, so I ended up using this. Auto-tune on here, even though I don't really even need auto-tune. I'm sure it sounded fine. It would sound just fine just without it. I have another EQ right here, just getting those high mids, kind of getting that more of a vocal presence, just going up 1 dB. Got another distortion plugin. It's just the it's really just whatchamacallit, the stock plugin. I have a pan, but I believe this pan is gonna be towards like a certain part of the vocal playing. That's why I had it automated. And most of the shit's really automated. And with these vocals, I have it routed to a separate channel. This is my old like vocal setups, and everything's just a mess. It's not really like organized whatsoever. I really don't know why I have Cymatic space in here. I don't really like that plugin, to be honest. I'm not trying to call you out, Cymatic. Send me free shit. But I have the reverb on here. I have the room size pretty big. A lot of wetness. I kind of wanted to be like as if it was loud, so I kind of was screaming the lyrics and shit like that. I got the delay on there, going on the I don't even know. And I have it a little bit offset. I like to have offset sounds when I put in the delay. It just sounds nice, and I think it fits me. It fits me a lot. Also to note, I was recording into this mic that I'm holding right now. It is a Neumann TLM 109, I think it's called. Also with the vocals, I took the just pitched it down halfway, 600 cents. I think that's about maybe a half octave down. I'm not sure. And this is just how the vocal sounded with it right now. Let me make sure these are on. I pitched it down just to give it that more of a, you know, bassy feel, just kind of scary sound. And yeah, this is how this sounds.
Put those hands up high, then I find what I want to find. Feel the flight, feel it in my eyes. Till I fly, now I'm gonna die.
Yeah, and you can hear it right there. I had the little bit of the panomatic just going left and right in your ear. I love panning, just hitting those to the left and right. It's so great. One more thing, I also added extra vocals. I actually stacked it. These are actually routed to my panned pre-made ones. So it's, you know, one's going to the right, one's going to the left. These are the same exact plugins. I'm not going to go through all that vocal chain nonsense because it's really not needed. I also have them just turned down a little bit, 3 decibels, 85%-ish, for both sides. Like this one is going to be on the left, this one's on the right, this one's on the left, right, and etc., etc. This is how that sounds when you stack the vocals and pan the vocals to the left and right side of the headphones. And this is how it sounds.
Feel the flight, feel it in my eyes. Till I fly, now I'm gonna die.
Yeah, so it sounds nice, and I really just end up screaming my lungs out at like 12 o'clock at midnight, and it came out nice. I loved how that came out, and then it goes into the drop. So yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything. If there's anything that I want to say at the end of this, really is just the way I organized it. I would say the arrangement is really just the main key that I like to have in my music. I want to make it just have some sort of structure and some sort of organization in general, just because it fits right, and just making some creative decisions like I have right up here. Right before it gets to the bass drop, I only literally just have my vocals and this riser coming up. I cut the bass off just right before it drops right here. I took away the kicks. It's just the vocals and riser, and then it goes into that, adding and subtracting sounds that you want to have, and then adding it back in later. and just doing all different ways just to make the bass drop even. The second drop I have right here is just the R&B high, and has the clap right here, and then it's my breath intake, and then it goes into the drop, and this is how it sounds right here. And yeah, it goes super nuts right when, and this is like right before the riser starts, and it's also just you just take away some sound and then bring it back, and it's just like all this sound comes in at once, and it's just, it hits hard. It's a bopper, you know, it hits hard. For the outro here, it's just pretty much the same thing as the beginning, just without kicks. And then I just, for shits and giggles, I just put a clap right at the end, and then it just transitions into the silence, and this is how that sounds. And then it ends. I really don't need to have this much kind of like taken up, but it is what it is at that point, huh? So yeah, I think that's pretty much the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that little beat breakdown, or how I made Inside Job. Hopefully I was clear enough to explain everything. I know I'm terrible at explaining, definitely in music. If you guys have any questions or any comments at all, just please leave it down below. And yeah, make sure you guys stream Peak. It'll be linked in below, and I hope you guys have a good one. Take care.
Put those hands up high, then I find what I wanna find. With a fly, feel it in my eyes.